Oh, okay. Let's get on. Dope conversation tonight that we're about to have. Really dope. Hope everybody is doing good. About to get on with Mr. G Smalls, y'all, restaurateur, author, y'all. Tonight we're going to talk about male body augmentation 101. And I am your boy, Michael Jonvier, of course. Let me tell y'all, this is going to be really, really, really dope, okay? Put this on real quick. What's going on, Keon? How you doing? Let's talk about it, y'all. Male body augmentation. We about to get on. 101. I'm about to have a conversation with G Smalls. So let's see. Got some more people get on. What's going on, Apollo? Can everybody hear me? I want to make sure everybody can hear me. Y'all good? Hope everybody having a good day. It's a new week. Happy Monday. About to get into it. Waiting for Mr. G Smalls to come on, y'all. Tonight, y'all, we're going to talk about male body augmentation 101. I want to let a few more of y'all get on. I'm going to go ahead and have G come on now. And we're going to start talking. G.
What's up?
Hey, what's going
Let me
on,
see if
man?
I can get a little higher.
Listen. The way they be doing it, I be having to try to figure it out myself. I'm kind of like, whew, make sure I'm right here in it. Because tonight, I'm so excited about this conversation. I'm really excited.
Me too.
Y'all, tonight, y'all, the topic of 101, my IG Live show. I'm your boy, Michael Jonvier. We are talking about body positivity, male body augmentation. Listen, women do it all the time, but there's still such a stigma when it comes to men actually deciding they want to change their appearance through surgical or cosmetic procedures. And I really want to get to the bottom of the stigma, why it's important to be body positive, and also, like, you know, pretty much ask G why he decided to go ahead and get his own surgery. That's not something he ever really talked about. I've heard him talk about. You kind of revealed it when I posted a video recently of a guy getting surgery on his stomach. He got it sculpted, got abs, chest, and all of that. And I posted it because I was curious about getting it for myself. I ultimately decided against it, not because I believe there's anything wrong with it, but because based on my followers and, you know, things they've said to me and things they know, I decided I would feel a bit traitorous to them if I decided to do it. But I do acknowledge that everybody has to make their own decision for their body. It's like your relationship with God. You got to work out your own soul salvation.
So you felt like you would be betraying your followers if you decided to have some sort of cosmetic procedure.
I do. And based on what they've said to me, let me tell you, I'm catching shit now simply because I lost weight. As of today, I lost 65 pounds. And
yeah, it's kind of like Monique, right? Like when Monique was heavy, it was like big girl this, big girl that. Now she done lost weight. And some of her supporters can't really understand that.
Right. They can't understand that. Guys, before we proceed forward, if you want to support this content, all you have to do is buy a badge that 99 cents, $1.99 or $5.99. The money goes directly to us, the influencers, not to Instagram. So if you like this content, support it. Support the people that support you. I'm doing this show because I want to help people. I want to give back. I want to show the more beautiful parts of myself. And G is always such a beautiful person inside and out. So I'm happy.
Thank you.
Tonight. But yes, so get back to our fan. I felt like I would be traitorous to do that because I've fought so hard and advocated so hard for people to be themselves no matter what size they are and to be not discriminated against and be given all the opportunities they can simply because of their talent and not what they look like. And so I feel like if I did that, I would be saying, hey, you know, the size that I'm at now is not okay. So I decided to do something about it, and you should too. That's what I thought the message was.
But you know, but it's kind of like if you're promoting body positivity, no matter what your body look like, why can't you be body positive, 50 pounds overweight, and body positive, not overweight, and have had some cosmetic procedure? Why is that not also body positivity. You're going to have to be body positivity all across the board. Because I find like a lot of times when you think of body positivity, that means you're not traditionally in shape, or your body doesn't look traditionally what society may think your body should look like. But no, I can have 8-pack abs and a snatch waist, and that's no body positivity. It doesn't have to be what's not the societal norm. So I think that's unfair for your followers and supporters to not support you along your full body journey, because you should be accepted no matter where you are along that journey and no matter what you look like. So I don't think that's fair.
I mean, it's, you know, everybody has their opinions. One of the things, you know, and, you know, from dealing with the public is when you open yourself to public opinion, you really open yourself to public opinion. And like I said, for me, it's based on the feedback, it just wasn't the best decision for me. And I'm not saying for right now it's not, but maybe in the future, who knows? Maybe I get 20, 30 years from now, or 10 years from now, even next week, and I'm like, I'm going to do this. But either way, you know, I want to make sure I'm sending a message to my followers that I stand behind them and I'm supporting them. But enough about me. I want to talk with you. So I saw pictures of you from years where you talked about how you were a bigger guy and, you know, some of the struggles that you dealt with involved in that. Can you talk about some of the insecurity you felt being younger and bigger, and then also being biracial and gay?
Yeah, so, and, you know, I talked about a lot, well, what I consider, I guess, a lot about my body journey. I talk about that in my book as well. Like, I talk about in my book how the cosmetic procedures I've had and what that journey was like. But like, I probably in middle school, I was a skinny kid up until like 6th or 7th grade. That's when I started gaining weight. It could be because of stress, anxiety, depression, adolescence. You know, I think during middle school, we go through that change. So a lot of things are happening around that time. And I know it was around that time, I probably even before then, I started being a really emotional eater. Like, food would comfort me. If I was sad, I would eat. If I was happy, I would eat. Like, in a lot of our families in the American culture, period, we reward ourselves with food. We celebrate with food. It's always about food. And so I love food. You know, I wasn't very active. And so I gained a lot of weight. And so I was kind of heavy from middle school all the way until probably around age 20 is when I started to really try to do something about the weight. And at that time, I was about 246 pounds. And so at about 5'11", so I mean, I was about 60 pounds overweight probably.
So is that the biggest that you've ever been?
My biggest was 247 pounds. Yes.
Got you. Okay. Because I know mine was 390. So, yeah.
I mean, you came a long way.
Yeah, I'm 200 and I'm 200 pounds as of today.
Wow. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So when you talked about it in your book, one of the things that came to my attention was the intersectionality between, you know, your sexuality, you know, you being biracial, and then, you know, you having the weight issues. How did you deal with so much?
You know what's so funny is, and so up until when I started gaining weight, people would tease me because I was half white, and they would tease me because I was not necessarily masculine. So they would call me faggot and gay and all that stuff. And so actually when I started gaining weight, then people started calling me fat. And I actually welcomed them calling me fat over the being a faggot or being a half-breed or whatever the case may be. So I actually welcomed that type of teasing because it was a relief. At least, it was a relief from them calling me a faggot, kinda. But I even started calling myself Pudgy. Like, my nickname was Pudgy. Like, I want to be identified as being the fat boy or the chubby boy instead of being the faggot-ass half-breed. So it was almost like a type of release. I kind of hid behind my weight, I guess, for a long time.
What was your first cosmetic procedure?
So right around age 19 or 20, I decided I wanted, and I had already been, ever since high school, I've always went on diets and tried to lose weight, yada, yada, yada. So right around 20, they had this drug on the market called Fen-Phen. I don't know if you remember. It was called Fen-Phen. And Fen-Phen was like this drastic weight loss drug. And I wanted to get some. And so it was a gym that was selling this Fen-Phen. And so I went to the gym to get this Fen-Phen. But it turned out that it was just a marketing ploy for the gym. The gym just wanted you to come there for the Fen-Phen, but what they really wanted to do was put you on their own weight loss program. And so it was this program they had, and it was you lose 10 pounds in 10 days, and they give you some sort of supplements or whatever, fat burners, And so I said, you know what? Fine, I'll do it. And so I signed up for 10 days. And after that 10 days, I had lost 10 pounds. And so I started getting motivated to do it. And so probably in about 6 months, I had probably lost about 40 pounds. I had lost about 45, 50 pounds, which is really significant for me. And so probably from age maybe 21 to like age 26, continuously trying to work out, go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. And I just still had this thing on. I just had this loose skin and stomach on my stomach. So you already know what I'm talking about. No matter what I did, that I had fat in my flanks and I had fat in my stomach, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with my shirt off. But with my clothes on, I didn't look overweight. You know, people didn't know what my body looks like. And so I ended up looking into getting a cosmetic procedure. I was like, well, maybe I need some liposuction, right? And so this was 2004. So I was 27 years old. And I went to this plastic surgeon. And I also had titties. I grew up with titties. I think I had gynecomastia or whatever you call it, right?
It's gynecomastia. That's what they call it. But that's a condition instead of like actually having it. Like the gynecomastia is like the men naturally develop breasts. But
it's
your chest is just bigger because it's like,
it's breast tissue. So I believe I had a mixture of both. And so I wanted to try to see what I can do. And so I went to the doctor. He said, well, I can try to look like there's a little fat in your chest. I can try to do a little liposuction, see if that helps. And I can do your flanks and your stomach to see if that helps too, instead of getting a full tummy tuck, which meant that it was a bigger procedure and it was going to cut my, part of my skin off. And so I said, okay, let's try that. Did it. And it really didn't make it, I didn't see no difference. I was like, I didn't see no difference, right? Not at all. Maybe I saw a little bit of my chest, but I didn't really see a difference. And it was a little looser, but there was no visible difference. Like I still didn't feel comfortable with my shirt off, right? And so I went back for my follow-up appointments, and he said, the only way to get rid of this loose skin is for you to get a tummy tuck. And what that is basically like when a woman has a baby, her stomach is stretched out, she loses it, and she has all this loose skin. And he said the only way for me to do it is to cut that off. And that means that I'm going to have a scar from hip to hip to cut that fat off, to have that to get the flat stomach. And so it's either, do I want to get comfortable with this scar across my hip, or do I want to try to get comfortable with this loose skin in my stomach that is not going to go anywhere? Like, which is it going to be for me? And so I decided I was going to go get a tummy tuck. And so that was 2007. In 2006, 2007, and he did an okay job. And maybe a year later, he left the practice he was, and the doctor at the time, it was still it was kind of botched in my opinion. Like it wasn't really neat.
You mean like how they have botched?
Like it wasn't. He didn't do a very good job of the scar, or like there were areas that was puffy, and so I got a redo, and so then I had the second tummy tuck. And so she actually went further, and I even show you guys. You can't really see the scar anymore because I'm in the process of getting a tattoo over it finally after 14, 50 years. But you can kind of see. You can kind of see a scar. It starts here, and it goes across, right?
Okay.
And so that was like back in 2007, and so since then. I've always still been trying to eat right, and I've still been seeing trainers over the years. Let me tell you, I've done everything from plastic surgery, gym, trainers, supplements, eating. Like it's a full circle thing. Like it's everything for me. Everything goes into it. So that was back in 2007, and really since then I've had lipo again over those years. Probably twice, like when they came up the new lunchtime lipo thing. I tried those things. My last surgical procedure, which I haven't really been told anybody. Well, I've told people, but I haven't like posted on social media. Was over 3 years ago. Where what I say I had a fat transfer, which can also be known as a BBL.
You had that?
So I did. And so also after losing all that weight. No ass at all. Like when I tell you flat board, I had no shape. It was flabby, blah, blah, blah. And so I ended up I went to Miami. This was probably a little over 3 years ago. Got a consultation and found someone who could do a male fat transfer. And so at the time, I probably had about 10 to 15 pounds that I could have gotten taken off. So he took fat out of my back. I've always had problems with my love handles. And I still do, but I'm satisfied with them now. But he took fat out of my whole back, some out of my thighs, and he got that fat and he shaped me a little booty. And I don't have a big booty at all. Like you can see, it ain't really nothing, you know. So, you know, it ain't one of those BBLs, but he gave me a little shape, and I still don't really have much booty, but he gave me a little shape, so at least my jeans look all right, and I feel more comfortable with what I had back there. So that was been over 3 years ago, and that's the last time I've been under the knife. But like I say, since then I'm still going to the gym. I go to my friend has a non-surgical cosmetic place called Revenge Body by Dre, where he does like cavitation and like he can like he can like melt your fat so it shits out of you and stuff. And so I go to him sometimes, like whatever it takes to make me feel comfortable, I do, and I'm for it. Like I have no problems with it. So y'all go see Revenge Body by Dre. You gotta look at this because it's non-surgical and you see results right away. So I go to him sometimes too. But again, I also don't want to take away from, because I do work hard at my body too. So it's a combination of everything.
Oh wow. You guys, Voice of Array and Cedric's LPN for buying badges. We really appreciate y'all's support. Love that, love that, love that. I guess for me, when you think about, you know, like cosmetic surgery and stuff, I feel like it's a double whammy. On one end, society says you have to look this way, be this way, and this is the standard of beauty. And then on the other end, when we adhere to that and we try to do surgery or procedures to meet that standard, people give us shit for it. So it's like you get shit on both sides.
So you're gonna get shit regardless. Like,
how you deal with it?
I don't.
Because
what is there for me to deal with? Like if somebody has something to say after this interview, then I pay it dust. You know, it's all about, I'm comfortable with my choices, and and that's really what it is, Mike. You just have to be comfortable with those choices, and I'm comfortable with those choices, and anything that I've shared with anybody, nobody can really tear me down and make me feel a certain way about it, because I'm comfortable about my choices. I know people are going to say, oh my God, I can't believe G had a BBL, or oh my God, I can't believe G had this plastic surgery, but I can believe it, and I'll tell you again if I do it again. Like I'm one of those people that have no problems. I'll get my Botox and I'll get fillers too. Like I'm okay with it. You know, I'm whatever it takes for me to be comfortable or not comfortable, you know? So that's just who I am. And I think it's just all about, what are you comfortable with? So society can say you have to look all of these ways, but you have people with 8-packs and they still not comfortable with their body. So it's really about how you feel and the level of comfort you are with your body. And if that's a 6-pack, or if that's a dad bod, if that's a big belly, if that's whatever that is, as long as you comfortable with what you're doing, you know? And I'm comfortable. So I don't like, if somebody talks shit about your hair, are you really affected by it?
Not really, no.
No, because you're very comfortable with your hair.
Yeah.
So you don't give a shit. But you're still at a point where you're still getting comfortable with your body, so you're a little bit more sensitive to those people's opinions.
Absolutely.
So it's really about you getting more comfortable with yourself, so those opinions are not something that is not going to sway you one way or the other. Because people support you being authentic. As long as you show up being authentic and you're authentic in whatever you do, then people are going to support you. And those who don't support you for being authentic ain't meant to support you no way. So pay them dust.
Listen, that's a word. That's a message I need to receive for myself. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I just hate, like I tell people all the time, one of the reasons I became a body positive advocate is because I was systematically throughout the years denied major opportunities I wanted and needed simply because I didn't fit a part. I would go into situations where, they want my connections. I was smart enough, I was talented enough, but then another guy who had the body or whatnot that they wanted to present for a show or be the face of something, glided in and got an opportunity that was clearly meant for me.
Yeah.
And when that keeps happening to you, it warps your perception of self. It warps your perception of other people. And for me, it warped my perception of, our community at large. Does that make sense? You know, when
it
you
does,
get
but it does. But I don't think
because
our community is any different.
I feel like for me, I feel like for a group of people that are so marginalized, so still oppressed, so still hated, why would you go ahead and subsection a piece of your population and do the same thing? But you know what? I watched polls and they said something. Every group wants to feel superior to some other group, and how it trickles down. And so I guess that's what it came down to. And that shit's got to stop.
Yeah,
it's just got to stop.
It does have to stop, but that's just, again, that's going back to people who are still hurt and unhealed. When I was still getting comfortable with my sexuality and before I was even accepted who I was, I also used to gay bash or talk about somebody who looked like a faggot or somebody who might be gay, or if somebody teased somebody for being gay, I would jump on the bandwagon because shit, at least that takes the light off of me and who I am. You know what I mean? So I get why people do that and why we do that, and we see it so much in our community because it's hard being Black, it's hard being gay, it's hard being all these different things, and a lot of us don't recognize we're not healed from that stuff. So we, like you said, we try to put other people down to make us feel better, but it's our job to not give our power away. You know what I mean? A lot of times we take the negative comments and we focus on the negative comments, and usually the negative comments are a small part of most of the support, and we focus on that negative instead of focusing on those people that are supporting us. But we have to do our work and not letting that affect us. Like, that'll drive you crazy, and I know that you know that. You know, always trying to appease.
It did. Like I tell people, and most people don't know this, back in December when the last situation happened to me, I was supposed to be the lead in a film. I came in and I auditioned. I did better than everybody. I got a standing ovation and everything. And I've always wanted to, like, you know, act and do some stuff. And so I've done acting here and there, but I've never been like the lead or the head of something. And so I thought that was my opportunity. And the very next week we came to do a table read. The casting director was all for me, but the director was not. And the casting director approached me after the table read and said, "Hey, we're going to go a different direction with your character." I'm thinking like, well, maybe I'm going to be a bad guy or something like that. And he was like, well, we're going to go with somebody who has more leading man potential. You know, Mike, you know, you're great. You're cool. You're smart. You talk well. But if you lose maybe 50, 60, 70 pounds, you know, you'll be perfect. That fucked me up.
Yeah.
That fucked me up. My good friend, Brandon Carson, was saying that fucked me up badly. For like a month, my brain was just like.
So what did you walk away from that experience like saying to yourself?
I walked away from that experience that said never again. I kind of reached into my inner killmonger, and I said, okay, well, I've asked, I've knocked, I've begged, I've pleaded, I've bled. Now I'm just going to take. And if that means that I have to, people want to use the word enhance. I don't think it's called enhance. I think it's just me shape-shifting, change my physical appearance, not my mental, change my physical so I can get through a door and reach back through and pull the big boy in the corner room nobody's paying attention to, the super skinny boy in the corner room nobody's paying attention to, the super feminine boy in the room nobody's paying attention to, the master-looking girl nobody's paying attention to, and get them through the door and give them the opportunity they normally wouldn't get, then I need to do that. Because the world don't change, people change. You have to change it from within. And so that's when my body positivity started going like full force. And I started saying, okay, this is the motivation. And then because a lot of people say, well, you know, you want to be healthy and stuff. No, I was relatively healthy. I've been relatively healthy for most of my life.
But for you, it was about trying to look the part.
For me, it's currently about just looking the part.
And so how do you feel like that's working?
It actually, fortunately and unfortunately, is working. That same director has called me since to apologize and want to work with me and stuff like that. I respectfully declined because I'm not going to work with organizations or people who are superficial, who don't support people who look like me, or guys who are really, really talented and they're not being an opportunity because of how they look. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I've had a lot of
let me ask you something. So you felt like his apology was like he didn't learn anything from that situation?
I don't think he learned anything from that situation. He said he didn't. He said, well, you know, for me, he said, I mean, it was just business. He said, you know, that sex sells and we just trying to sell a cast. Nobody's going to watch a movie where they have a big boy as the lead. And I respectfully told him, I'm going to tell y'all just like this. I said, fuck you. I said, because once upon a time, they said nobody wants to watch a movie with a primarily black cast overseas. Black Panther is one of the greatest selling movies of all time.
Right.
They said nobody wants to see gay people in films. How many gay films have won Oscars over the years?
Right.
Once
Right.
upon a time, they said women are not allowed to be in plays back in Shakespeare's day. Hell, every movie, every script, every got a woman in it. We got to stop saying what people don't want to see and what they don't want to do. Everybody wants to see a representation of themselves somewhere where they can say, hey, that's me. That's powerful.
Yeah,
Truly powerful.
I agree. Yeah.
Truly powerful. And so for me, when it comes to, you know, I always tell people about body positivity. I say it's not for guys who are just the big guys. Although those are the ones that we see the most, like, oh, you know, discrimination against. It's for everybody. It's a blanket statement that says, hey, no matter what your body is, you shouldn't be discriminated against. You deserve to be treated just as equally as everybody else. Just as attractive, just as beautiful. You should have the same opportunities. That's what it says. Your health is your own personal responsibility, and you have to deal with that on your own. Body positivity is for everybody. Your personal health is just for you. And that's how I distinguish between the two when people say, well, what about people who got like diabetes or something and they need to lose weight and such and such? That's their personal journey. Body positivity is for everybody. And until recently, men have been left out of it. Like I tell people, it's so curious that you cannot look on TV and see a plus-size leading man in a non-comedic role. He's always the sidekick, the best friend, the big brother. Yeah. Why is he the sex symbol? Why is he? Why?
Well, I mean, I think it's the same for women too, though.
Huh?
It's the same for women too, though.
But actually, they did a study about this just last year. Appearance of plus-size women across the board in multi-medium platforms has risen by 95% in the last 10 years.
Yeah, there's definitely a big push for. There's definitely a bigger push for body positivity in women.
People, Melissa McCarthy, the women are winning when it comes to body positivity, but when it comes for the men, it's not there.
Yeah,
it's not there. There's not even a plus-size section for men inside of most retail stores. You have to go to a big and tall store to do that.
Yeah,
people don't realize that, but that's a form of discrimination. That says that, okay, well, you gotta have a special thrift store for your kind over here, while everybody else gets to shop here.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Simple stuff like that. And like, people say, well, Mike, you fight for that too hard. I'm never not gonna fight for that. And I want to talk about body augmentation today because, like I said, if women can do it, men can do it too. Y'all said y'all want to have an equal playing field. Let's play equally then. Let's talk about that. Because
you know, I think the men get the whole thing, but because women, they still get, it's definitely more acceptable. It's also more acceptable for women to be lesbians too, but because it seems, and I think the body augmentation thing is seen as a feminine thing. So that's why you probably, but let me tell you, there are lots of men who get it. You know, when I went to my doctor, he had plenty of examples in a magazine that he could show me. Like, it's plenty of men get it. So.
I know plenty of men reach get it. I've had quite a few reach out to me via DM talking about their experiences and stuff like that. And I actually want to read like a few comments that I talked with them when I told them this is a story that I would be doing. And a couple of them actually know you. So the first one is, I'm not going to say their name. So person number one says, shout out to G and Mikey for agreeing to do a show like this. I actually got my butt done. I didn't like that it was flat, and people talked about how flabby it was. It made me embarrassed to wear swim trunks. If I had to do it again, I would do it all over again.
See, sound like me.
Right. Another guy says, I was very insecure. I was very insecure about my penis size. I was able to get surgical enhancement. I'm very pleased with it now. I'm all down for plastic surgery. Third person says, I'm really not understanding why Black people have such a hard time dealing with plastic surgery, or even men who get male body augmentation, when it's so prevalent in the community and people constantly change their appearance to suit and look like whatever.
Right.
So that last statement, I feel like it's very true because like they talk about that. African Americans are currently, when it comes to BBLs, are the biggest consumers of that said surgery, but also they're the most stigmatized based on the study that they did. Because it's the push is that natural everything for Black people is what's best for them, and anytime somebody does any type of enhancement or they some type of surgery, it's viewed as them being fake, not accepting their real self. Right. And I need us as Black people to realize flesh is moldable. Yeah, it can look any way you need it to or want it to look, and what somebody else does does not affect us overall.
We're always doing things to enhance our body that does not require a surgeon or a knife.
Right. Like
You know?
perms, right?
Tattoos.
Perms, tattoos. Listen,
I mean, all of that.
all
Like
of
we're
it.
always doing things to enhance our bodies. I mean, it's.
So let me ask you a question. Did your size ever affect your dating life before you married
Oh,
your wife?
absolutely.
Okay. Can we
Absolutely,
talk?
it did. And mainly because I was just very insecure with my body. You know, I'd be very insecure to take my shirt off during sex or for the first time to have sex. And that even once I got my tummy tucked too, like then that became something for me to deal with because while now this loose skin was gone, I still had to get comfortable with this scar. And also it took me years to become comfortable with that scar as well, especially when being intimate. Like I always make sure that I tell people before we were intimate that I had this scar because I didn't want them to be shocked or whatever the case may be. Later on in my life, I stopped seeing it, if you will. But yeah, that was also something to get comfortable with. So I would, feel like I wasn't good enough to be dating certain people because of the way my body looked. I still could be insecure about my body from time to time. I think sometimes we all can, no matter what your body looks like, but it's definitely not where it used to be. I'm definitely a lot more body positive. I appreciate my body. I don't sexualize my body anymore. That's the problem I used to do too. I mean, we oftentimes we look in the mirror and sexualize our body to see how sexy we are instead of seeing it for this tomb that it is, to carry our souls. Like it's here to function for us and not just to be a sex piece for us. So that helped a lot for me becoming comfortable with my body too. So now I'm like, I'm pretty much a nudist now. Like I love my body and I celebrate my body and I'm just very comfortable with it. And I think it's important to say when we talk about body positivity and celebrating all shapes and sizes, from a guy that used to be big and got body shamed for that, and now for a guy who's relatively in shape, I can get body shamed for posting what people may consider now it's a thirst trap. If I'm posting with my shirt off, it's a thirst trap. If I'm heavier and I take my shirt off, it's body positivity, like yay. But now it's you just flaunt your body, and now you have no brains, and that's all you want to do. But it's body positivity across the board. We should all be proud of the body we have, So let's lay off of the thirst trapping and that kind of stuff for people who celebrate their body with the 8-packs too. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I don't believe in any form of body discrimination. Like I tell people all the time, the only discrimination I have a problem with is when you give said people with 8-packs, 6-packs, whatever packs, advantages over people who don't. That's not okay. That's that problem is. We've got to stop doing that. And another reason I started advocating so hard for body positivity is, I know quite a few web series actors and content creators, and I used to work with them very closely. And, I would see a lot of the same thing in every show. And there's no diversity. And I was like, okay, well, where are the fresh faces? Where's the new faces? Where are the new bodies? All gay men don't look like this. All black gay men don't look like this. There's a guy that looks like me or look like how you used to look or looks like the big guy down the street. And a lot of them would like, a lot of different fans and stuff would DM me and say like, yeah, I watched the show, but it made me depressed. And I would be like, why does it make you depressed? They was like, oh, I mean, we're never gonna have a guy like that. You gotta look like this to have that. And I was like, we gotta, so I actually was working with a content creator at the time and he did a show and the big boy was in a comedic role again. I didn't particularly appreciate it, but it wasn't my show. It wasn't my character. But another actor did speak up about it. And, once he spoke up about it, like I advocated for him immediately. Like, yo, this is not cool what he's saying. And it's just, no matter what he and I said, it was like so many other people were pointing back like, no, y'all making it too big a deal or whatnot. It's not that serious or whatnot. And so what I want to do is transition the conversation into privilege. That a lot of people don't understand how it feels to go through something like being bigger because they haven't had the experience of being bigger and they don't think it's that big a deal. And I tell people all the time, it's always someone else's problem until it's your turn. You might not be discriminated against for being big, but you might be discriminated for being black, or feminine, or poor, or uneducated. It's always some class of something somewhere that you can't be a part of. And until if you can't see what the other person is dealing with, you can at least ally yourself with them and say, hey, this is clearly something that's distressing them, so perhaps we should look into this more. That's how you can ally.
Right. I agree. And we also have to stop looking for people because, like you said, you can't change anybody. And so you have to start providing the platform on which you want to see, or start connecting with those content creators that see the same vision that you see, and prove that a guy of larger size can be a leading man in a sexy role. You know what I'm saying? We can't continue to try to make people change what they're doing with their platform because it's rightfully theirs. You know what I'm saying? You have to create the content that you want to see. I know it's easy said than done, but really, that's really what it is.
It definitely is. And so that's definitely something that I'm working behind the scenes to do. I don't want to, like they say, move in silence or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing, because anything that I'm a part of moving forward has to be body positive.
Yeah.
It has to be. I need to see a different variety of people and everything. How do you feel like you could be an advocate for body positivity?
I feel like I am already. Just by being myself and speaking on it the way that I do. I mean, I feel like we can always all do more. You know what I'm saying? I can always do more, but I feel like because I've been on both sides and all through the journey, and I relate to it very well. I try to speak about it and be as transparent about it as much as I can, especially because I realize people don't know my story, and I may be what people might typically say is attractive. I realize that, so I think it's important to continuously voice and speak out and talk about my journey and continue to be transparent with everything that I have been, from body augmentation to to my sexual journey to all that stuff.
I love that. I love how transparent you try to be with your life. I know there's some things that you definitely keep to yourself because you need to, but I do love that you are so very transparent. Yeah. And all your successes, you're an author, you're a restaurateur, you got constant businesses, you have a successful relationship. Yeah. And, even you talked about it being open and stuff, like just the way you paraphrased it and put together, like, this is what works for us, y'all. It ain't for everyone. It works for us. It's what we decided to do. Yeah. And I love that you make these incredible decisions for yourself and allow people to be themselves, because that's what it's about. And we more alike than different. You know what I'm saying? And so there's nothing I have ever said or I have ever shared where nobody has said me too. Oh, I feel the same way. I've never had that. There's never been that from anybody. I'm human, just like everybody else. And what makes me think that something I'm experiencing or something that I'm feeling, the next human ain't feeling and experiencing the same thing. Like, we all can relate to each other in that way. And I think that's how you break down all these stigmas. You get more people talking about it and more people posting about it, and there's such freedom in telling the truth, And so I think that's what inspired me to continue to just be I just want to be so authentic because it works so well. The truth has worked so much in my favor for me, and when living my life so much not telling the truth and what my life was like and what I felt like, and me showing up authentic every day works so well for me. And you just said your success is I contribute that to me being my authentic self, and that's it. That's powerful. That's powerful. I appreciate y'all comments for saying how authentic I am, but I mean there are still pieces of me that of course off the table and stuff like that. Yeah. Like I said, I tell people all the time, I believe in doing stuff for the greater good. I mean, my methods might be a bit questionable at the time, but ultimately it's for the greater good. Maybe it's, as people say, the Aquarius inside of me. I'm up in the air. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you for having this conversation with me. I really, really, really appreciate this. Let's read some of the comments real quick. You're welcome. McDougall says, you both are speaking truth this evening. Love the body positive message. Let's say that's new because it was seen as selling. Oh, he must have been talking about the BBL. Does anybody have any questions for G or myself about? Yeah, I'll be happy to answer anything. Talk about it, y'all. I couldn't sit on my ass for 2 weeks. Oh, let's talk about that. The recovery process. Yeah, so the first time when I got my tummy tuck done it was 2006 or something. So technology has definitely changed. It's not what it used to be. I was down for about, I was kind of walking low, hunched over for about 2 weeks. And I was out of work for about a week.
but it was the healing process is more uncomfortable than painful. You know what I'm saying? You might get a little pain here and there, but they give you pain medication, but it's mostly uncomfortable with sleeping and doing that type of thing. When I had the fat transfer, which is the BBL, when I had the fat transfer, that was, you know, you're down for 4 hours or so. And of course I had my husband to take care of me. So we like stayed in Miami for a week while I was, you know, had my tubes in and stuff, because you get these draining tools. We could drain out all the fluids. So it's a kind of a process for about a week, and you need somebody to help take care of you, or the case may be. And so luckily he was there. But after that, it's just it's a 6-month healing process, but you go, you know what I'm saying? You're mobile again. You can go back to work, you know. You have to like sit on this little pillow so you don't sit directly on your ass, and that's uncomfortable and weird. But, you know, it's really not that bad. It's not bad at all. I would do it. Everything I've done, I would do it all over again in a heartbeat.
You sound like me, but my own personal enhancements, I guess I'll go ahead and reveal that on here. Like I said, I'm holding stuff back. So let me be authentic. This is a big exercise in authenticity for me. I've had LASIK eye surgery. I've had my nose done. I've actually had my ears done.
Oh, really?
My ears used to be like this. So I got, it's called like tonoplasty, and they pushed them a little closer to my head. I got that when I was in college, when I was like 24, 25.
Okay.
My nose was a little wider.
Okay.
So I got that shaped. And then
how long ago was that?
All this happened from the age of 22 to 25. So that was, about 12 years ago.
Okay. It all looks good.
Thank you. And I got LASIK eye surgery too. So
I did that too. Like I did one of my eyes, because I didn't want to do reading glasses. And so they told me if I got one eye, I could use the one eye to read up close and one eye to see things from far away. So I did that, but it still kind of fucks with me. But I did that too. But I haven't like done anything to my face. Now I will go with Botox sometimes. I will get fillers sometimes, but I haven't like had any like nose work or any facial or, you know, whatever you might do to your face. I haven't had those except the injectables, which I will probably continue to do to the day I die. And I'm 44 now.
44. Don't look it.
I'm 44. Well, you know what? I take that back. I always say, you know what? This is what Black 44 looks like. Black people just look good. They older they get.
Hey, but let me pause, because let me say, people, what is 44 look like? What is I'm 37?
They comparing themselves to white people. That's what it is. And Black people look good as they age. So we need to stop saying you look, oh, damn, you look good. No, bitch, this is what 45 looks like.
But listen, I would take me at 37 over me at like 18 any day.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, oh my God. I told my mother, I said, how could you let me walk through life with glasses that was this big, and then there was a little cut thing right there, so the metal was burning in my face. And she said, well, you know, you was always, you know, neat and clean cut. I said, girl, that was getting me messed up.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Mom, I need to get braces. I need to get this right now. You like, no. I get old, I'm having to get surgery on my stuff. Okay, I'm just all about it. But again, thank you so much, G, for having this conversation with me. You guys, I want y'all to make sure you guys support G's book. G, tell us about your book real quick.
So it's called Black Enough, Man Enough. And I do talk about my body journey and my body image journey through this book. But I also talk about my struggle with being half white and my struggle with being sexually fluid and being man enough and being Black enough. But it really is a journey to self-love, self-discovery, and self-acceptance. And so everybody will be able to relate to it. Because, I mean, and I go in, so I'm very transparent. I let you know a lot of the things that I go through, and I think it's something that, you know, a lot of people will be able to benefit from. So you can get it from Amazon. You can also get it by clicking the link in my bio. Yeah,
it's an addictive read. Please make sure you read it. Also, guys, make sure you check out G's 2 amazing restaurants if you're here in Atlanta. If not, fly out and visit. Make it one of your points to stop to visit.
By the airport.
Park, Breakfast Boys, and Virgil's Gullah Kitchen. Listen. The food is popping.
Thank you.
And for those of you who don't know my nephew, it comes Chubbs approved. We'll be coming down and do a video soon. My nephew, I like to take him to restaurants and, you know, get him to critique stuff. And so I came down there like a couple of weeks ago and I had him with me. And he was tearing the food up. He's a picky eater. He was going in.
Yeah.
I said, Chubbs, how's the food? He was like, it's good. I was like, that's it. I was like, yes, let me do that. So y'all make sure y'all check out his 2 restaurants. Breakfast Boys, and of course, Virgil's Gullah Kitchen. Thank you so much. You guys, I'll be back on IG Live tomorrow with another episode of 101. I'll be talking with Mr. Ríco Pruitt. The topic of tomorrow.
Come on, Ríco. Come on, tell my nephew I said what's up.
I would definitely tell him, because tomorrow's, you got to tune in, is 101 Love and OnlyFans. How is it for OnlyFans guys when they're dating, when they're in relationships? What are the picks, what are the falls, what are the ups and the downs? All right? So Ríco's going to be looking forward to seeing you out tomorrow, and of course I will too. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and thank you to everybody who bought a badge. If you still want to buy a badge, you can. They're like 99 cents a piece. The money goes right to our pockets. Thank y'all so much. G, I love you, man. Anything I can do
love you back. Michael Jonvier, right?
That's it. You said it perfectly.
I like the new brand.
That's my middle name. Yes, I had to let Mikey go. He's still here, y'all. Mikey's here. He just had to grow up. He's in.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you, man. See you later. Right. Much love.
Bye.
Peace. Y'all, that was such a good talk. That was such a good talk. Such a good talk. Listen, I do one-on-ones every Monday and Tuesday. And if you guys have a topic you want me to discuss, please let me know. I know tomorrow, like I said, I'll be doing one-on-one Love and OnlyFans with Ríco Pruitt. Next week, guys, I'll actually be doing Black Fatherhood one-on-one. And then I'll be doing Pretty Privilege one-on-one. Really, really good talks, y'all. I'm all about that, all right? I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for y'all support. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Have a great night. Peace. DM me.